Welcome back to Our Truth Black History with Leon Kwasi Kuntuo-Asare. On this week documentary short, we look into the history of Yao-Suke, the African samurai warrior. Yao-Suke is believed by some scholars to have come from the Yao people of modern-day Mozambique. Therefore, some believe his name Yao-Suke derived from Yao-Suke, Suke being a Japanese suffix added to a male name, so Yao-Suke most likely meant a man of Yao origin. There are varying accounts saying he could have been Ethiopian or from Sudan, but no one knows for sure. It is documented that when Yao-Suke arrived in Japan in 1579, he was in the service of an Italian Jesuit missionary named Alessandro Valignano, who was appointed by the Society of Jesus, Jesuits, to inspect their missions in East Africa, South, and East Asia. For the Japanese who encountered him, it would have been their first time seeing a black man. The Jesuits later reported when Yao-Suke was taken to Oda Nobunaga, head of the powerful Oda clan, a man some scholars of Japanese history credit as being one of the first unifiers of Japan. The Daimyo, feudal lord, thought that Yao-Suke had been painted with black ink and ordered Yao-Suke to remove his clothes from the waist up and demanded he scrub his skin to attempt to remove what he assumed was black ink painted on his skin. Reportedly, when Nobunaga realized that Yao-Suke was not wearing ink, but instead was a black man, he became fascinated with the African and praised him for his strength and demeanor. It has been written that Nobunaga's nephew gave Yao-Suke some money after their first meeting to help him on his journey. On May 1581, Yao-Suke left for a trip with some other Christians to go to the Ekizan province. There they would meet with regional warlords Shibata Katsui, Hashiba Hidekitsa, and Hashiba Hidekitsa. When Yao-Suke and his fellow Christian missionaries returned to Kyoto, the former capital of Japan, on May 30th, at some point afterwards Yao-Suke entered into the service of Nobunaga. Nobunaga would also give Yao-Suke his own residence, a ceremonial katana, and would make him his weapons bearer. In the Battle of Tenmokuzan, Nobunaga led his forces, which included Yao-Suke, into armed conflict and ultimately victory against the Takeda clan. On June 1582, Nobunaga was attacked by the army of Akechi Mitsuhide. Yao-Suke was present at the time of the attack and he fought with valor against Akechi's forces, but ultimately Nobunaga forces would be overwhelmed and Nobunaga would be forced to commit seppuku, ritual suicide. After the death of Nobunaga, Yao-Suke visited Nobunaga's son and heir apparent Oda Nobunaga, who at the time was in the process of rallying forces at Nijo Castle. Yao-Suke fought bravely alongside Nobunaga's forces, but was ultimately captured. When Yao-Suke was brought to Akechi, the warlord reportedly made racist comments about Yao-Suke being an animal and not Japanese, therefore he stated that Yao-Suke shouldn't be killed, but rather taken to the Christian church in Kyoto. His ultimate fate is unknown and there is no more written about him after this time. Some people believe he may have returned to working for the Catholic Church or contracted his services to other warlords.